Laura, did he get the job done? He said that he doesn't have a problem with the polio vaccine, with the measles vaccine. Is that all that lawmakers really needed to hear?
He certainly adopted a different tone than he had in his public statements prior. You know, he said he's not anti-vaccine, but it's clear from his prior public statements that he is at least vaccine skeptical. What's not clear, though, is that this is going to block him from nomination. It seems very likely that he will sail through the Senate. He has a second round of hearings tomorrow with the HELP committee, which is the Health and Education Committee in the Senate. They won't actually vote on his nomination, but it does not seem like Senate Republicans are lining up to challenge his nomination here.
I guess we'll see how things go for Tulsi Gabbard tomorrow, as well as Kash Patel. Still have a lot to look forward to. I do want to ask you, though, about something that has developed very quickly over the last few days, and that was the original memo from the Office of Management and Budget freezing federal grants and aid. That now rescinded today in the face of pushback from a judge and from many others here in Washington. But the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said on Twitter, this is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze. It is simply a rescission of the OMB memo. What exactly is happening here, Laura?
So this is a little bit of face saving from the administration. What they're saying here is, look, we're still going to be going through all the federal spending, these loans and grants, and looking for things that are tied to some of the other executive orders they put out. So this is things like DEI, funding that's going to non-governmental organizations, foreign aid, clean energy, all of those priorities. That's still happening. But sort of this blanket freeze that had really caused a lot of chaos and panic across the country yesterday, the end of this order sort of subsides that. But what Caroline Leavitt also said, and I think this is really important, is that they're going to be issuing further actions related to federal spending. You know, we reported earlier today that the administration is gearing up to challenge Congress's federal spending authority. They want to wrestle some of that back towards the White House. That's going to be a big fight. And this is, I think, an analogy here would be looking back towards the Muslim ban during the first administration, where they issued a very broad ban that was struck down, and they came back several weeks later with a more narrow and targeted one. That's likely what we're to see in the coming days and weeks.
Sounds familiar. You know, every time you turn around, it's another headline out of this White House. The president did make a surprise announcement today. He was talking about something entirely different, about his plans now to build a new migrant holding facility, keeping mass deportations in mind. Listen.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people.
So it's back to Gitmo. Is this legal? Is that all he needs?
There are
an executive order?
A ton of questions about that. There's both an executive order, you know, and sort of national security questions of potentially mixing, you know, potential people who have allegations of terrorism with unauthorized migrants, as well as the funding piece. Congress is going to have to come in and fund a bunch of this, and that is wholly unclear if there are the votes to kind of keep Guantanamo alive in this way.